Hello everybody, back once again. So today we're going to try to get started on put it simply, the buyer of the Purple Burst wanted me to do a bursted finish to the back as well, when originally I had just done it in black. So today I'm going to sand off the black. Actually, I might leave the black on the outsides, but I will sand off most of what's in the center, and then we will get into that. I'm not sure how much the sanding is going to shake my table, so this recording might get scrapped. So hope for the best, and here we go. Just make sure I can kind of get an idea here. I don't want to mess up the bridge or anything. So right about like that. It's not level, but it'll work nonetheless. Eventually I'll find a better way of recording this. Right now I'm just kind of going with the flow of things. So we'll see how this shakes things up a little bit. Right now it just has it actually has a coat of sanding sealer on it, and maybe a little bit of polyurethane. I'm not sure. We'll have to, I mean, it'll sand off either way, but I cannot remember how far I actually finished through the back of this, but we will get to that real quick. I'm actually going to take the screws out of these back plates, so that way we don't sand any of that or get anything stuck down in there. Get a screwdriver real quick. Just back these out. Nothing probably would have happened to these. I recessed them down in pretty deep, but at the same time, I don't know. People are arriving home. That one. Maybe actually, I think I'm actually going to leave one of these in the control cavity, because I don't want it to move around and mess up the finish, well, the burst rather. Check the old phone. Alright, here we go. So, I don't know, again, how this is going to affect it, but here we go. I'm actually going to put a screw back into this control and volume cavity so it doesn't jiggle around a whole bunch. Just for an even finish. You can already kind of see too, you're getting a little bit of stuff coming, a little bit of the natural wood coming through, so we're getting close. This really wouldn't have taken too long anyway. It's just a couple layers of finish. Alright, so that, just a couple passes with some 80 grit paper, and you can kind of, if I can pick my camera up, you can kind of see there just how it kind of just made a little white spot. I actually think I might decide go over here a bit more, just to kind of bring out the whole burst of it, but this is getting about where we want it to, so, and pretty soon we'll be able to start putting the purple on it, which is going to be the fun part. Okay, that seems pretty good. Get these screws out. Okay, so about like that, get a pretty nice looking bell kind of shape. I call it a bell. You can call it whatever you want. Then we're going to want to start with our dies now, in which I have these are my die rags. So I'll take a couple of these, shake them out so they're good and clean. Okay. And actually what I'll do is I'll wipe this down with a little bit of naphtha, and that'll kind of clean the wood out, get it ready to take the stain, or not the stain, but the dye. So, get these. Just kind of like old t-shirt that's old t-shirt or shop rags, whichever, if you feel like buying them or making them. They all work just as good. Put my dowel set, and then just give it a wipe. So then what that's done is that's given it a nice clean surface to dry to. I'll actually let this dry a little bit. I'm going to go close the doors of my shop real quick. But I'll let it dry, and then we will be using, so once I find it, we've got Angelus leather dye, jet black, and I've lost it. Oh, here it is. And we've got purple. So those will be what we're using today, and then we'll let this dry for a minute or two, and then I will be right back. And we're back. I should probably find a better way to record this, but I really don't know how. I need to get a bipod. That's what I need. We'll get to that later. Anyway, if you ever use these Angelus dyes, which I highly recommend them, they have some pretty excellent colors, and actually the guy that I used, well, not the guy that I used, but the guy that I learned how to use these from, his channel is Big D Guitars. Highly recommend him because he knows a heck of a lot more than what I do when it comes to building these, but indirectly he's taught me how to make guitars and also use these stains. And I really, really, really like the way these come out. So definitely go give his channel a check, because I highly, highly recommend some of the stuff he's made. I've never actually physically held anything he's made, but I've seen what he can do, and it's some pretty spectacular stuff. But anyway, back to what we're doing here. We'll just go ahead and we'll close up the naphtha so that doesn't spill. Alright. Use the screws, but then we'll take our purple leather dye. What I like about these is these boxes come with a nice little hole fold thing in the back that you can put your stuff in so it won't spill. But you want to give it a good shake it up, uncap it, and then now we start the dyeing. This already has kind of, actually, I think do I want to put down black? It's already got black on it. So what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and put a purple down and see how it goes, because you can always sand this off. That's what's good to keep in mind with this stuff, is you can always sand it off. But we'll put a douse of purple down. You want to put it on kind of heavy so it'll really, really take into the wood. It also smells like Sharpies. I think it's Sharpie ink, but I don't know because I don't make it. Rub it in, and again, you want to kind of pour it on kind of heavy. Really get it soaked into the wood there. So I might do a couple coats. I always go around the outside here, actually a little bit on the binding there. That should not, it's gonna wipe off, so we'll have to be careful about that. I'll have to repaint it. No matter. Take a wash around the outside, back through the center. Nice and purpley. Good. Purple's nice. beautiful light purple. Kind of swirl that around. I'll have to figure out what I'm going to do. And one thing is these dyes, number one, they're really strong, but number two, sometimes they change color as they dry, so you'll get kind of a weird wonky look to it. Just don't freak out, because you usually just, either some really, really high grit sandpaper will fix it, or some, I think, triple aught steel wool is what I've seen the other guy use. So something like that, and then it busts the color right back out. So you can kind of see here, and I'll flip the camera up around for you guys. But there's a first little bit of the purple, and that's probably how I'll leave it. What I'm going to do now is I will take, I think some 320 grit sandpaper, and I will sand here on this edge a little bit and kind of make it fuzzy. Because what's ultimately going to happen is, I did this a while back, and the guy really liked it. So this is what we're going to try to do, but I got to figure out how to get this kind of light faded, almost kind of airbrush look to it. So we're going to try to do that on this and see how it comes out. But I'm not entirely sure as to... Okay, there we go. Not entirely sure as to how this is going to work, but I think I have a good idea. So I need to get... Do I have... Yes, I do. I have a little sheet of... Oops. 600 grit sandpaper. And as soon as I can find my razor blades, we'll chop some of this up. Just a little piece. Just a little piece. Actually, we'll go ahead and sand where we just put the dye down. Just kind of little circles going back and forth. Sometimes, and the dust will pull up, it'll be purple colored too. But we ultimately want to get here, and actually I might not do this just yet. I will close this back up. Put my gloves back on, and actually we'll go ahead and put... No, what I want to do is I want to see if I can get this purple off the kind of imitation binding here. I don't have a heat gun or anything like that to do proper binding just yet, so that's also going to be another thing. I know how to do binding, it's pretty simple, but I just need to get the tools to do it. So, but first I want to see if we can just scrape this off, which we can. So this is doable. So we will just have to scrape this off down the road, like you would do normal bonding, which is what I was pretty much hoping for. So, purple rag's there. We'll get another rag here. Can move the purple off to the side. What I'll do now is do a little feathering of black. I think the feathering black part's what's going to make this kind of the shoot, what do I want to call it? I guess the fade? Fade's proper term? I don't know. I still have a lot to learn. But we're going to do a little bit around the outside to touch up where we did sand. And to kind of get a nice... We want to have a hard line to start with, but then you're also going to sand that back out. So we'll just hit this on the side. Up and around. Up on my horn. Back down. I try to keep this in like a little semicircular pattern too, just so it's not a flat line, but kind of poofy, like a cloud maybe. Especially going up around the sides. That looks pretty good. Just keep wiping it in and going around. Pour a little bit more out to get a nice dark line. Oh, we dropped some on the guitar. Oh well. Yeah, this is where it'll get nice and dark now. And just real light, in the circles. Imagine Bob Ross would have something to say here. I don't know. He was a little bit before my time. But we all love a good Bob Ross. Alright. More down here. Kind of fade that in. To match up. A bit more black there. Okay, so now what we have here, and I need to get better lighting in here too, because I know it probably sucks for you guys. But what we kind of have here now is, finger in the camera, just a nice heavy black outline. So then what I'll do now is I'll take a little sheet of sandpaper and just kind of go over this line and blend it in, but not, you know, not to where it's going to be completely gone, but it's like a two-part transition, so it's like black, mix, and then the other color. So that's what we're ultimately going to try here. We'll go ahead and try that now. So just some light sanding. Actually, do need almost a little bit more light. Just use my phone here, but it works. Blend this in. Right on that line. So what we want to do, and I think, because I really didn't know what was going on the first time I did this, but I think what needs to happen is I need to just sand back a little bit of the black and then put a bit more purple in it. But wipe that out. Through. Yeah. Around. Just kind of a little semicircles. And then take a clean rag and wipe off the dust. You can see it'll pull up, shine the light in your face, a good bit of the dust and some of the color. You don't really want to pull up a lot of color because obviously it's pulling it out of the guitar, but a little bit should be fine, especially if you're just sanding. So I'll go ahead and go back, spots of mist. Ideally, I think what it is you want to get a little bit of the wood underneath to kind of shine through. Not really shine through, but maybe just a little bit of a pop. That way it'll kind of take the color back again when you sand it. I think that might be the secret to it, but again, I'm not sure because I kind of just did this one day and didn't really follow much of what I was doing. But get a little bit down here. Okay, that could be wiped off. So there's that, and then we'll close our black back up because we shouldn't need it anymore. Actually, I might go ahead and put it away just so it doesn't get spilled. Another set of gloves. The good thing you always want to watch too is changing your gloves is important because the dye can cross back and forth, and same thing with your wipe rags. If you do like a red and a black, they'll bleed in together and your colors will change drastically. But I'll go ahead and show you guys here kind of what I did. So you can see it's a little bit lighter here on the outside. So what I'll do is I'll go back and put a wipe of purple on that and over the whole thing, as a matter of fact. But then after that, it's pretty much there. I mean, that's pretty good looking. Actually, I'll take a little bit off that right there to bring the corner back out. So I'll go ahead and do that real quick. Get the dust all over my camera. Worth it. Get it positioned right. Alright, so we'll go back here. Hit this until it's not going to fall over. Power sand it. But again, just using 600 grit sandpaper, pretty high grit. Going up and around. A little bit there too. So yeah. Okay, that's a little bit better. So go ahead and flip that back around here so you can see now it's got the more rounded shape to it. We'll go with that. So we'll go ahead now and turn my light off. That way, put another pair of gloves on so we don't mix the colors up, make it look bad, and we'll just wipe a little bit of purple on it. And then we will put a coat of sanding sealer on it as well. Actually, no, we won't do that. We will we have to let it dry. It's good to let this stuff dry so it really seeps into the wood. You don't get a whole lot of heavy bleeding when you go to do stuff. So we'll see. Just kind of go back through with the rag we had earlier. Just kind of real light. And put some purple back into it. So this will be a case where you want to check and flip your rag just to make sure that nothing's pulling up, not pulling up any of the other colors or anything like that. Wipe it in. Get it good and soaked in there. I'll go ahead and add a little bit more to it here. Get a bit off that. Shake it up in case there's any dust. And a little tiny dust. Don't need a whole lot because we're just feathering the edges here, so we'll take that. Just come right back. It's still kind of light. Up and around. And then back through the whole thing. So that actually looks pretty doggone good. I'll give that one a seal of approval for now. No, it all depends on how much it dries, or when it dries, and what it looks like after that. So we can go ahead and throw our old rags away. Trash bucket. Gloves off. And bam. So I'll pull you guys over here. And that's a pretty good finished project. I'll get a little bit of light. Turn on my phone here. So you can kind of see a little bit more lighting. Good fade. You can see the little bit of transition, you know, down here. It's a little bit, not a whole lot, but I think it looks pretty doggone good. Especially to match the front here, which is what we're really after. And there goes the plate. But that, just a really nice front to that. So I'm really wanting to get a good back on this as well, because this is just a spectacular burst on this, especially with that flame maple. Really nice and glossy. Really happy with how this turned out. So yeah. Around, get you guys sit back down. So flip this up. And again, just want to let it dry. Probably overnight, so I'll go ahead and put the screws and stuff back in it and set it to the side. Wipe it off with a rag one more time, just to pull any dust or any of the dye that's on it. We'll go ahead and scrape the binding off of it too. So, I notice that doesn't really help. But yeah. Okay. This is kind of a little tedious process here, but needs to be done. Plus it'll help the guitar look a little bit better too. Right. Some touch-ups and viola, kind of. Yeah. Much better. So there will be most of your final product there. Kind of a little bit of a light on it. Go ahead and grab the camera again, flip it around here. But that then will be most what the final product will look like. So not too bad. I think I want to go ahead and try and seal this red guitar, and so I think I'll go ahead and try and do that as well. So we can set this down to the side. I want to leave that die facing up so nothing happens to it. And then I've just been calling this one my Crimson Burst. It doesn't really have much to it, but I'm really digging it. This kind of patchy stuff was from, I sealed it one time before, but it turned brown for some reason. I'm not really sure why. I think the brush I was using had something in it. And so this time I'm going to try and rub on the sanding sealer with a cloth as opposed to brushing it on, just in case that was what the issue was. But this is just some regular Minwax sanding sealer, and then I'll get a screwdriver to open that up, not a Phillips head. We will brush this on, or rather wipe it on. I'm going to try to do a wipe on with this and just hope it does not turn brown, because I was so disappointed the first time that happened. It was, I don't want to say devastating, but it was disheartening, because I really was liking how it matched the back of it better. But, I mean, I learned, and I'm pretty sure it was the brush, but I'm not 100% positive. So, we will get this. It's good on here. You don't want to get anything on me. So I don't know what this stuff can do to you. Don't want to know what it can do to you. That one's a little dirty, so we won't use it. I'll go ahead and put another little douse of naphtha on this just to clean it off, so that way nothing gets sealed underneath. Also, I hope it doesn't pull anything off of it. It shouldn't. Angelus other dyes, I think, are denatured ethyl alcohol based. Yeah, pulling a little bit off, but this will really bring out the shine to it as well. Clean it off for you guys here and try to get a camera angle up. Actually, I'll just go ahead and pull the camera over now. Kind of show you guys so you can really see here. Flip it around so I can see it. But you can really see here. That's just really going to have a nice figure to it. And it pulled up, a little bit of ink out of the rag, but it's nothing. I don't think it's anything to be worried about a whole heck of a lot. But just want to make sure it's nice and clean, wiped down. All this does is just remove dust, anything like that. So not too bad. So we'll get another clean rag. It's a little bit small. This one, it's actually two. Shake it out. Just a little kind of a little pad shape there. And we'll dip it. And we'll wipe it. And already this is really just popping the figure out something amazing. I think I want to be careful with this too, because I think this stuff, you obviously don't want to get your ink into your sealer and have it turn the sealer different colors. So you got to kind of watch how you go about that. But I think this is going to look a lot better in terms of an end result product than what I had done before, because I used just like one of those like felt tip like dollar brushes you could get at any craft store, and it just did not, it worked, but I tried to get multiple uses out of it, and I think that was my downfall. Although I'm not sure where the brown came from, because I haven't used brown for anything for it. I'll go ahead and try and dip this on. We're good. But yeah, it didn't, I'd never used brown before and anything, and it just, I guess it was just a defect that I done or something. But, I mean, either way, all I had to do was just sand it off, sand the finish back off, and it was fine. I just had to redo the finish. So I didn't really concern myself a whole lot. Again, like I said, it was a little upsetting because, you know, you put the time into something and you want it to look nice, but you learn from your mistakes, and that's what's really nice. Actually, getting a little bit of stuff running here, so we'll wipe that off. So nothing runs down the sides. I've already got the sides and stuff sealed where I want them pretty good, so I don't want anything to drip down or run too bad. Yeah, that's actually, this is doing a lot better than that brush did. The brush did things more evenly, obviously, but this is just kind of, it's just making it better. And also it's not bleeding. I think it's like pulling the stuff inside of it. I know it's kind of bleeding out a little bit in the rag, but... Did it turn it brown again? I think it might be. So we'll go ahead and change rags again, because I do not want to have to sand this off again, because number one, it's kind of costly. Not really costly. I'd just rather not have to do it. But definitely want to get a few coats going here. Yeah. We'll dip it back again. Wash from this side. Down. Flip around. I think the key is just flipping the rags so you're not getting stuff transferring dyes a whole bunch through. And I'm not really concerned with getting an even finish because I will wet sand this all when it's done, and it'll bring everything to a really nice and even finish. Like it is on that purple guitar, which is what I really want, because that just looks amazing on these tops. So I think that's not bad. We'll let that go. Throw these into the bucket. I think. You know what? You'd better do more successive coats, I think, than go all out at once. That might have also been what my problem was last time. I'll go ahead and close this stuff back up. Okay. So I'm gonna actually do a bit of a test here, because the last time it turned brown, you could... Oh, yeah, it did a little bit, actually. So I don't know. I'll let this go. I can still sand this off if need be. Or maybe I'll just leave it at that and just put a coat of poly on after this, because I really, really do not want this to turn brown again. And I'll flip you guys around here so you can see what we're getting at. But you can just see a really nice. The sanding sealer makes the dyes pop out really well, which is what I like so much about it. But I think I just need to get more of this, because it's not like... I'll see if I can pull it up here, but you can kind of see... Yeah, it's definitely getting that brown on it again. So I'm going to have to sand this back down. Maybe, I'm hoping that once I sand it down, it should be okay. But it's just kind of got... There's only a couple spots in it. So that's... I might leave that, because it's not terrible, but it's not good either. And I'll just have to get more sanding sealer, but I'm not sure. Like, see up there, it's still blue or white, whichever you'd call it from the other stuff, but at the same time, I don't know. But I think we'll call that for today, because it's... I don't know. I don't want to take it too far and have it turn out bad. I mean, like I said, I could always sand it off again, but at the same time, it's just kind of a... I don't want to have to do it, but if I have to, I will. Because, like, the first one went so good, and I think I really don't know what to think, to be honest. I just want this one to turn out good as well, because this is what I'll be just kind of putting. I'll be starting an Etsy shop, by the way, which is where these will be going. So look for that in the future sometime as well. But we'll let that sit and dry, and come back tomorrow. Yep, we'll be back tomorrow. I'll record a little bit more stuff, and we'll see how everything turns out. So if you guys like the video, drop a like, subscribe if you want. Leave a comment, let me know what you think, opinions, ideas, what I could have done better, what I did wrong. I don't know. I'm here. I'm open. I'm learning. It's a process. But thank you guys so much. Thank you for joining me here in the shop today, and I will see you guys in my next video.